And so I'm activating my camera. I don't have the sound effects and everything that I usually have, but I do have my look prepared for like a gaming session. And this is my helmet, my protection helmet when we have Spongy, like being aggressive on any game we play. So
Are you like a Viking or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm going Viking today. This is like a different version, or I can go, I can go cyber. It's like more prepared with
That one
this.
is super cool.
Yeah, this one is like I'm trying to point at you. I just wear my normal baseball cap. Okay, so let's wait for another 5 minutes to start, and we will begin with our town hall. We can just say hello, everyone that's coming in. Like the idea of doing it in a voice channel is because we want it to be a conversation. We don't want like to be some guys like up on the stage just saying whatever. We want it to flow. We want it, like for us to be able to connect and talk between us. So feel free to talk.
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes, or 2 3 minutes max. We can start freak to be minded of everyone's like timetable.
Yeah, let's do it. Who do we have here? How many people we have? 12. It's like Vu. Yeah, James, you always like your black screen, like you never know, it's like it's an empty square. It's like it is the coolest thing that you have like that black thing there, but it always confuses me. It's really cool.
Hey, freak, are you in Medellin right now?
Yeah, I'm in Medellin. I just got here. It's getting hot.
It's real.
I
Okay.
know. When we left Bogota, it was 2 degrees. And I think Medellin right now should be around 26, 27.
So basically, perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
perfect. Yeah.
I jumped on a plane at 2 degrees and then I got out at 26. So it's like a shock, like boom.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty much the same because Mexico City was cold, but now here in Costa Rica it is like the perfect weather. So
It's
yeah,
21 here right now. 21. So it's not that hot.
yeah, hotter than Bogota.
The interesting thing about Costa Rica, this now in like around December, November, maybe a little bit January, is that it is sunny and nice, and yet there is like a cool breeze. So it's just like perfect weather.
This is
You're
perfect.
like
This
you never get like warm.
is
Or
perfect weather. What by far probably the best. Like Medellin sometimes through the year. Okay, guys. So freak, are we ready?
We're not only ready, we got a surprise.
Please.
Remember here, I'm looking at Metacan here.
Good.
He came.
We have
Oh
Meta
my
Can.
dude. We got the pluma blanca, bro. This is really
How's it going, everybody?
How you
this
doing, Carlos?
Very well, as you guys were saying, enjoying the weather over here in Costa Rica.
How's the weather there?
Really nice, man. Really nice, beautiful. Had a nice
It's a
weekend as
sunny.
well. Sunny and but not hot. Sunny and fresh.
Same here.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. That's
okay.
awesome.
Let's
So
start, my
freak.
friend.
Let's start, my friend. Then let's go.
You wanna kick it off or
No, you do
okay?
it this time. Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah. I got you to teach me. So thank you for coming. One of the things we want to do today is start a conversation. Start a conversation, and the town hall has to be kind of like the place where we all gather at the plaza, and we talk about things, but we also have a conversation. We introduce you to people of the team. You get to know us all. You get to know our whys, our deepest feelings, and where do we think we're going. And I'm really thankful for Carlos being here, because also a chance to have a conversation with Carlos. I know some of you have been asking about concepts and ideas and things in Carlos' head that honestly, I think Carlos is the only one that can explain it or will explain it better, and the way he looks at the future. So we switch from the stage to the voice channel to make it a conversation, yeah, and to everyone build this as a tribe, as a community, as you know what we want. So we have several topics we wanna bring to the table, but I first wanna give the la palabra, the word, to Carlos, and allow him to say hello and everything to all of you, and then we can kick it off.
Sure, sure. Happy to do so. So happy to have everybody over here. I know right now in December, it's a pretty chaotic time. Everybody has plans with the family, with the friends, with the college buddies, whatever. So, being here and working towards our goal of building DEGA as an open ecosystem for everybody is something that I really appreciate from coming from every one of you. I can switch out the cam a little bit just to say hi to everybody.
Hello, Mr. Carlos.
Hey there, hey there. I need to get one of those DEGA cap filters like you. You're ahead of me.
No, dude, I can send you the link. I can send you the link, and you get it. Like, I have it public.
Awesome.
It,
Cool.
it is public. I'll send it to you.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Well, that's about it, guys. Just really happy to be
Oh,
here and have you here and happy to chat anything that you
Carlos.
have on your mind.
Yes, of course, Carlos. We are curious. How do you feel this week with everything that is going on with the community? How do you see everything that is going on? Like new community members, from your perspective, on the things that you started when starting DEGA. How do you feel about these people, our community members coming together, working together, generating the content? How does this feel from your perspective? Everything that you're seeing right now.
I have to say, I was very much surprised in a pleasant way. I didn't expect the community to grow so fast, to have so much energy coming from all the members. We haven't even begun to, kind of like release all the good stuff that we've been working on. There's so many, um, let's say, there's so many creative, cool things that we got on the works now, which we will be releasing in the coming weeks. So I'm happy to see everybody so excited, with just the initial messaging that we've put out, right? Like I think that, and that's why it's great to have essence in what you do, because basically just the concept itself of what Dega is and what we're here for seems to have resonated very well with a lot of people, which is beautiful. Um, we worked on a lot with the Rabbit King, who's here, on our vision and the mission of what is Dega and how to structure it properly in wording. So it seems that all that hard work has paid off, in the sense that it's a short, powerful message, right? So yeah, I'm very happy for that.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's awesome what has been happening. And can you share and expand a little bit, like the things that you can share regarding this vision and mission that you were fine tuning with Rabbit, that really click? Where were those like pillars or things that clicked with you because they showcase what Dega actually is? Can you share a little bit of that?
Sure. Well, I think last time we did not actually state the mission per se, the vision per se, right? So, what we envision is a global metaverse built on open standards. And the two key words there are: one, global, in the sense that we don't want this to be just like, many things that we currently use to be just, a mostly American thing that everybody else just happens to use sometimes, right? Like, the Americans built the Web 2, right? So we envision this as something that's global, right? I want everybody from every country building, working towards this, kind of like an emergent property of a hive mind, if you would have it in that sense. So that's what I see for the metaverse globally, and built on open standards in the sense that the beautiful thing that we've seen in Web3, crypto, and blockchain is that I can jump into enhance existing systems without asking for the founder's permission, right? So I can go and build out new DeFi components on top of Uniswap, Avalanche. I can go to Cardano and build new crowdfunding systems on top of their staking pools. Whatever it is that I want to do, I can do it without having to go and talk to the founders. And that, compounds value for society in general over time, right? So that's one of the most beautiful things in the industry. So that's why that second word about being open is key, right? For example, right now we've already seen efforts like Stable Diffusion, which was built by a community of people that worked on open sourcing that technology and using grants. And I can't remember the names of all the foundations and institutions that were involved, but I know that there was a key group and there were of engineers building it, and then there was a key corporation that donated a lot of their computing power, right? So now we have Stable Diffusion, and a lot of people have started to create like mutated versions of Stable Diffusion, right? So it's different versions of that neural network. So that basically allowed a lot of people to build out new tools without having to ask for permission. They just took the model, modified it, and now gave you new versions of that. So that's what we want to do. In that, everything that we're going to be building is going to be open. And then on top of that, we hope that other people also create new and wonderful things. Obviously, there's a structure in the way that you benefit the people that have worked on it, right? Just like the people that have worked on Ethereum and Cardano have benefited certainly a lot from what they've done there. So that's the vision that we have, right? That's the vision, right?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It makes sense all the narrative that exists right now. Carlos, one last question before we before we jump into like those key points that Frick has is, but like one of the questions that many people is asking right now is that, like, how can I explain DEGA in a very, very simple way? Like, what is like the simplest way that all of us, like old and new community members, can tell their friends, their people about what is DEGA? Do you have anything in your mind of how can we have this high level narrative in a very simple way in order to communicate what is DEGA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll give you the sentence, but before that, it's important for all of us to understand that it's normal to struggle with shortening the explanation of something that's new. I think we touched lightly in the previous conversation about the growth of the cloud, right? Because right now I say, oh, cloud computing, everybody just gets it, right? Like instantly. That was not the case back in like I think it was even 2012 when people were still very, very confused on what's a cloud. And you would see tutorials and videos and seminars about literally an entire seminar, one day, just explaining to you what that cloud is, which today you would say, like, I mean, that's like explaining what streaming is, right? So simple to get it once you've grown up with it, right? But that's so just to let everybody know that it's perfectly normal to feel that frustration because we're, in the emergence. Actually, well, it's actually the convergence of multiple systems right now, right? There's two things, emergence and convergence. So the metaverse is both. But from the perspective of a product, right? We can simply say, DEGA is the full stack infrastructure for Web3 game development and metaverse applications, right? Every word there has been specifically selected, right? So full stack, right? In development, in engineering, in coding, or building systems, full stacks means that there's a component for every layer of the architecture, right? So, for example, you have the Web3 layer, you're gonna need the data indexing layer. Then on top of that, you're gonna need the application layer and so forth, right? And we're gonna put out a model on the layers that we consider absolutely needed for metaverse or Web3 gaming development. But that's something that's very subjective. People can, keep adding stuff. But the point is that, you have several stacks of technology systems working together. So DEGA provides a component for all of those stacks, right? That's the first, that's why full stack is there. Then infrastructure, because what we do is provide, tooling, services, platforms so that other people can make their stuff, right? We will be building some, let's say, application level stuff as well, right? Just so we can test out our own system, right? We can showcase, look, this is a showcase of what you can do, right? But our goal is to be, infrastructure, right? To be um, similar to what you would say a decentralized version of, AWS or Google Cloud, in the sense that, you can use millions of systems, literally millions of apps, um, but they all run on the top of these systems, right? On top of AWS or Google Cloud. But again, we're open standards, right? We don't want to own or take over the metaverse in the sense of, restricting it, right? We just want to provide the standards so people can build on top of it. And then, so full stack infrastructure um, for Web3 game development and metaverse applications, right? We use both because gaming right now is something that's very specific, right? Like when I say a game, something comes into your brain that tells you, some given components and mechanics of structuring that. Um, but we say metaverse on a separate word because it can be, something more social, something artistic, right? Like sharing, literally just sharing a 3D sculpture or a conversation, right? That's not technically a game. Although, as you all know from our previous town hall, we believe that as we move forward in time, most of the things that you do in your day will be a game, right? The way you exercise will be gamified, the way you learn will be gamified, the way you work with your colleagues will be gamified. So we're kind of doing that ourselves right now with Tega, right? Like everything is about an engaging, compelling story, right? We're not here just creating a Trello and saying, "Hey, you do this, you do that." It's more like it's more about an experience together and walking a path, right? What we're doing right now when we're building Dega, we're walking our own quest, right? So, so yeah, that's why we chose all of those phrases and words in that conversation, in that concept.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's pretty clear how we can communicate, and then also as a community to feel okay about not having sometimes the answers of many of the questions, but being sure that eventually we can come back to the community and find out together like what are those answers that we need in order to like to bring Dega to the world, because this is a learning experience that we are having as a community to understand how this is going to be on board and adopt like from these gaming developers, these metaverse developers, and all those people. So, okay, thank you so much for that, Carlos. Freak.
Yeah, yeah, happy to
Uh,
do so.
Carlos, like before I jump into like questions from the audience and the people who are watching this, I do have two things I want to talk about, or you to talk about. And one, you said it. This project has a soul. And that's why it's so attractive, even though we haven't published like the major things that are coming, like all the big news, all the big events, all the big things and the plans is because it has a soul. And it's been there from, I think, from even before it started as a project. but you make it clear every time you talk about it. You make it clear, and you talk about that soul and developing markets and everything you want to change there and the opportunities you want to create. And I would love for you to talk a little about, I don't know if it's your obsession, mission, passion, purpose, what is it? But it's impregnating the whole project, and I would love for you to talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's multidimensional, right? There's different kinds of let's say sources of you got to be careful with this word because inspiration and motivation tend to be misinterpreted. But let's say fuel, right? Different points that have fuel different aspects of what we're doing in DEGA, right? So one of them, as some of you know, when you talk with me, is that I'm extremely frustrated with the way that we have to use Web3 today. To me, it feels like we're because a lot of people say we're the internet in the 90s, and I'm like, no, we're the internet in the 80s. That's where Web3 is right now, in the sense that back in the 80s, when you had to send an email, you had to do command line, right? You had to literally know how to do programming basically to send an email, right? So between the day that the first email was sent and the first time that my mother sent a Gmail email, right, which was the one that she used, it was something like 30 years, right? So we kind of forget that. We say, oh, why what crypto is a failure because it hasn't reached mass adoption. Well, on that note, then email was a failure for like 30 years then until my mom actually used it. So that which we know is not the case, right? So um, that's one of the sources of fuel for working on DEGA, right? Is to be able to accelerate that development. I know that there's now a few other teams also working on that. I've been wanting to do this for at least 4 years now, since almost the first time that I used the 24 words to write down my private key. Almost instantly, I wanted to do it in a different way. Um, so yeah, now it seems that the industry is finally waking up to that. So that's one of the things, improving the adoption, the uses, the capability to use these systems. In the aspect of emerging markets, I'm from Honduras myself, one of the poorest, most corrupt countries in this region of the world. And I've been under the umbrella of the influence of the United States for since I can remember. That's how I learned English. I watched television like Cartoon Network, and that's how I learned it. So I would always see, that there was a different world, right, than the one that I was growing up with in terms of the access to things like, something as ridiculous as buying clothing was non. Now it's kind of like better, but back in the day, buying, one Nike T-shirt would be, like this major gift that your aunts would give you or your parents would give you, right? When you would see that the Americans would just buy tons of clothes with no problem, you would see the difference in the wealth gap, right? That there was between such a sophisticated nation and some of the countries that we live in. So that's still there, right? It's gone away in some aspects. Certainly, even extremely poor people now have a $40 smartphone. So that means that there's ways that we can equalize people's lives. To be clear, I don't mean equalize in terms of results, like in the sense that everybody's going to be the same. I mean it in the sense of access to, exploring or expressing your potential and your creativity, right? That's what's important to me, right? Like giving everybody the tools that they need to be able to access the to connect with the global economy, right? So that's why I think that Web3 is going to be exponential for the emerging markets, but it's going to be a linear benefit to some of the developed nations, right? Because they already have, access to credit, to capital. There's so many things that you can already do in the United States and Europe. Not to say that they can't improve on them, But for us in Latin America, right, for example, and I know some of you here are from Romania and other parts of the world that are in similar conditions, there'll never be a Wall Street of Latin America, right? There'll never be a Wall Street of XYZ country that, it's an emerging market. So for us, we're gonna do what people call leapfrogging, which is we're going to leapfrog directly to the best the best technological solution available without having to go through all the intermediate steps. An example of that is when Africa went mobile, right? Africa never had landlines. They never had the posts with the landlines. We had that, so that's kind of like a perspective there. We had that in Latin America, right? We went through that phase and then we got mobile phones. So most of Africa, I imagine there are some exceptions, but most of Africa went directly to mobile, right? They didn't have to go through landlines. So that's what we're going to be doing with Web3, with artificial intelligence, with mobile phones, with um, liquid reality experiences that we're going to be building in DEGA. We're just going to go straight to the best solution, and that's how people are going to get better lives, as opposed to having them go through all the steps that the countries went through in the 20th century, right, of development, right? So another good example of that is manufacturing. Like a lot of countries are going to go straight from, let's say rural agriculture to knowledge-based, service-based, creative industries, as opposed to having to go through, rural agriculture, then industrial, and then knowledge-based, right? They're just going to leapfrog straight to the knowledge-based economies. So yeah, that's basically, I would say that those are probably some of the two biggest motivators in my life, and for DEGA specifically. There are many other aspects that we can dive into, but they're mostly subdivisions of these components, let's say.
Dude, that is awesome. It's so exciting. When you say liquid reality, I saw like comments going like liquid reality, and that I bet you that's one of the questions that is gonna come up from the people that are watching this. Like, so prepare your liquid answers to there. So for me as a builder and a creator and a gamer, am I gonna be able, for example, to build on Dega the Web3 Steam? That is got something like that that gives access to different games or different solutions. Am I gonna be able to build that and not only build games, is that also like marketplaces for these games or different stuff that comes around? Is they gonna give me the facility to do that?
Yeah, that's actually a good example. That's exactly what we're aiming for. Something, building with our partners, platforms that are similar to Steam, right? But unlike Steam, picture having the API of those games open from the get-go, right? And there's a really good example of a phenomenon that happened very recently that actually captured my imagination and kind of like validated what we're doing in Web3, which was the cyberpunk games, right? When they came back to life thanks to the Netflix anime show, which, by the way, if anybody here hasn't seen that, you're missing out. You should go and see that. It's probably one of the best anime in like what, 10 years or something like that. So it was so good, right, that people got excited and went back to Cyberpunk the game, right, which, as you all recall, had a flop, right? When they would release the promos, they looked amazing. Then when they actually released the game, it was kind of like extremely underwhelming, let's say. And then, but they kept working on it. They didn't give up. They kept improving it. But obviously, as you all know, most of these games, if they don't skyrocket the first day, they tend to flop. But these guys just kept working on it. And then when the anime came out, it kind of revived the interest of people, because cyberpunk is in itself a very beautiful concept. It's a very cool concept. Um, so these guys from Project Red actually started releasing um, a mod SDK, right? So now, they gave you the tools to be able to create your own versions of the game, which I mean, if you kind of think about it, it makes so much sense that I do know why most games don't do it. They have two different reasons, but I don't want to go into that. But the point is that they released the SDKs. So when they did that, like it was an explosion of mods, like hundreds of cyberpunk mods started to come out. They would build cool stuff like a flying car, right, which is something that didn't come in the original game. Some people added other buildings, some people added other stuff to the game that made it more let's say engaging. And that, like, there's most games actually have their mods illegal, right? Some of them are cool enough. They do allow you to like these guys allow you to create your own versions. But why wouldn't that? Imagine if that was the case for literally every game. Imagine that not having an SDK in mods be the norm, not the exception, right? And imagine having that integrated with a marketplace such as Steam, right? What if I could go into right now into Steam and all the games there already had SDKs so that I can build out my own versions of those games and perhaps even combine them or have have assets work across multiple games like those, right? Imagine all of that feeding into your profile and let's say your esports competitor, right? And you can see in your profile you're collecting assets from all the games that you're killing it at. So yeah, that's like a whole new universe of dynamics that we'll start to see when we combine those three things, right? So kind of like get a sense of one of the future products that I see being created. See, it would be kind of like a Steam marketplace with open SDK mods similar to the one that Cyberpunk has, but with Web3 economics and community dynamics integrated. That so that's a very powerful combination that we'll have there.
That is that is
Awesome,
that
awesome,
is insane.
great. Yeah, that's incredible. Great. Can we go now into some of the key points that you want to to share with people and to participate with the whole community that is present right here?
Yeah, and one of the things I want to bring to the table actually involves you.
Please let me know.
Sorry, dude,
Okay.
but it does. It does. We had a major battle in chess between you and Milendro that is not only like the greatest chess game I've ever watched. It was like the most, I don't know, it was the joyful thing, like when Spongy started like narrating it, and dude, it became something else. And I think that summarizes what Gaming Fridays has become. For me, is my favorite day, is my favorite event since I'm a gamer. And I get to see everyone playing, I get to play, but we get to talk, we get to discover new games, we get to learn how to be a bot if you're Milendro, or I'm just joking. But like, it's become like this thing that, at least for me, is like the place or the day I'm looking forward. Even my daughter is coming to stream and play Minecraft, so it's kind of like it's for all ages, all kinds of people. It goes from chess, like mind game, up to like the games they were putting on the games channel, and down to playing super people and just killing a bunch of other dudes in different parts of the world while you just laugh at each other and throw jokes. So I don't know. I think that's one of the most successful ideas that we've had as a community, and I would love to hear from the community their opinion on this, and announce that this Friday we have the big revenge battle between Milendro and the professor. Is gonna be the final battle for the DEGA crown. We're gonna crown the king of that. So it really represents like It's kind of like the chess UFC level on the DEGA universe. So everyone, stay tuned. You know, it's 2 p.m. UTC, and we're gonna kickstart the day with that event. Okay, so put in your calendars, mark them down. We all gotta be there. Spongy, if you're here, I hope you can narrate it because it was
Yes,
really
bro.
fun. and and
So
and put
maybe we can hear from Melandro and or Spongy. Are you there? Yeah, you're there.
Yes, bro. Yeah, bro.
How do you felt? How do you feel about last match? How was that experience for you? Like, how was it? And what do you like about these battles that we are initiating in the community?
Well, actually, that battle, bro, that was I agree with Frikiton. It was almost the most epic battle I've ever seen. Uh, I don't know if we all know that there are a lot of epic battles, but for me, it that is the most epic battle, chess battle ever seen for my life, bro. And also the best part of it is we were playing, we were having fun, as a community where we are like we wanted to be connected. We are having fun. We are, yeah, these are battles, but still we are building connections, and that's what I like about this.
Yes, of course. It was awesome. Melandro, how do you feel about almost getting defeated by me? How is it?
Yeah, no, to be honest,
Just
yeah,
kidding, Melandro. Just kidding, of course, man.
yeah. All I can say that I am ready for this Friday match. I hope you are ready too, Professor.
Let's go.
I am, of course, I am.
Yeah,
We will watch this.
you gotta you wait for the video of the professor training like Rocky going like up the stairs. Ta-dan, tan, you know.
yeah. That's so epic, man.
No,
Epic
yeah, it
match.
was amazing, but like regarding the community, it's important to like to see that these events, like they were really engaging, they were really fun, and like this is like the best way to like to connect with the community and to grow the community. So one of the things that I will like will love everybody like in here to do for the next Friday is to like if you have a friend or someone that will like would like to be part of that or to listen or to join the event, just please do because that guy is pretty open in that sense in order to receive anyone that want like that cares about games and wants to join the community. So um, yeah, it's going to be an epic battle, and the more like the more audience that we have, the better. And I see a lot of potential in that initiative. That like for me, it felt like the beginning of of tournaments and stuff like that, which was a beautiful idea in my head, which made a lot of sense. And Freak and I talk about it. So I think this is the beginning of something great that is going to scale um, by having fun with the community. Freak.
Yeah, and one of the things talking about that is also allowing the community to bring new ideas on what events can we do, what do you want to see here, what do you want to play, do, watch, enjoy, learn, read, hear, whatever it is. We want to hear it from you to figure out how can we deliver that. So we published the new community calendar, and I don't know if you saw it, but it's pretty much between the AMAs, the town hall, the community takeover, or film, or the film day where we watch party for films or events like that, and then it's the gaming Friday. If there's something else you want to put on the table that we should have, or it's a special channel, stuff like that, we want to hear it because that what gives us is like that's the value you're looking for in this kind of the community, in this kind of community, and these rituals are the one that actually connect us, you know. It's like actually we create the connections, personal connections through these moments and these events and these calls, and all of this. So it is very important. So if anyone right now has ideas like that, I would be more than glad to give them the mic. Or if you have questions about what we're doing, we have Carlos here. I know there's gonna be one question for Raymond for sure. So I'm also opening the mic for you to ask. So we're open to suggestions and open to questions right now. And if no one talks, I'm just gonna drop Raymond to the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
I'm
For
just gonna
instance,
push him.
yeah, yeah. For instance, Raymond can share a little bit about his initiative from this week, which was like most of you have seen it, which is like the newsletter of DEGA. It was a masterpiece from Raymond that was born this Monday, and maybe Raymond, you can share a little bit about the experience of doing this, like. Your process, the things that you did in order to be in sync with all like the tone, voice of the community, the personality behind being vegans, and all the things that you did for this first experience, taking over the newsletter of DEGA.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Both are found. Okay, let me not say both. From our founder to the forerunners, and even the other members of the community, because this, whatever happened with me, could only be possible with all these factors. So I really can't talk about how I feel without, thanking you all, because you guys gave me the platform to do this. It's been a very wonderful time at Dega. It's been just, I can't even believe it's been up to 2 weeks, or it's not even it's not even up to 3 weeks. So it's really convenient here. It's a family here, and like we all say, it's a tribe. We're a growing population. We're just perfect here, and that is kind of like the drive. That is my drive. The I have been in other communities. I have, also tried to patron my own community and some stuff like that. But I have really not been in a place where there is this level of connection. You could just, like our founder was saying earlier, you could just see that even without saying so much, so many people are already on board with this idea, because this is kind of what most of us gamers have been thinking of passively. Talking about the 1224 word password, I think everyone here everyone here has exactly that feel when they have to impute that. So it is a I think we have a hive mentality here, and that is what is perfect here. And because of this hive mentality, that's what drives me. I am very overwhelmed, and I could be very moved, sometimes very inspired by, the public reaction. And that could move me to write. And you guys have made me a poet overnight, if I must say that. But I don't even think I know I enjoy this. And it's been very wonderful doing everything I do. And the more I write, the more inspiration I get, and the more questions I have. So while I want to say thank you to everyone, our founder, I also have a couple questions. We talked about the metaverse. So I asked this question yesterday, but I would love to throw it here. We talk about the metaverse and everything, and I would want you to please, if you could, throw more light on liquid reality. Like, what is liquid reality? We've heard that, and it's the name alone is very interesting. It's a concept that already I am on board with. I know very well that once anything liquid reality comes up, I'm gonna be stamping my name on that. So what is liquid reality? Like, can we just have more than just a sentence description? Can you talk about it a little more? And how does liquid reality fit in the metaverse? Those are my two questions. I really have a lot more, but I think
Mm.
I'll start with that so that we can give the floor to every other person. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Happy to talk about that. So we touched on it lightly in our previous conversation, right? Last week's town hall. Basically, the way that we're wording, the reason that we're wording this phrase is because right now, if I say XR, right, which usually people tend to mean, mixed reality, augmented reality, or virtual reality, it gives people, let's say, a bias or predefined concept of what that is in their heads, right? If I say VR, okay, putting on the VR headset. If I say AR, okay, then it's the AR headset or maybe the phone, and mixed reality as well, right? So the reason we're coining liquid reality, it's because we want it to be, let's say, boundless, right? It's about, last week I said, if it had to be put into one word, it's about being ubiquitous, right? That means that it's everywhere. Being the goal of what we're building, because it's all about experience, right? At the end of the day, XR, AR, whatever term you want to use, we're talking about a human experience, right? So what we are going to be building in DEGA, in liquid reality, are experiences that are ubiquitous in the sense that you don't need a VR headset, an AR headset. The phone obviously is one of the most powerful tools you can have, but you have your computer in and of itself. You have projectors, you have screens. So basically, liquid reality is about creating this melding, right? That's why it's liquid in the sense that it leaks into, your world, the virtual world leaks into the physical world, wherever you are, right? Wherever you are, that there's a liquid reality experience, right? Without you having to say, oh, give me the headset and give me those sticks, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's why we're coining this phrase, just to be able to separate a liquid reality experience from what people have in their heads that a VR or AR experience is, right?
Guys, that concept is just powerful, too powerful, and we have to talk more about that concept. Definitely. Yeah, like from writing some articles or to having a specific event about this kind of subjects. I see a lot of potential in those kind of concepts because when we talk about liquid, it allows people to feel it and imagine that is a mixed reality between worlds, and which is like bringing this adoption of the concept to people because they can relate themselves with the concept as it is. So lots of potential with that concept right there, and thank you for pointing out that, Raymond, because it has this narrative that it is pure potential in my head right now, and we have to do more things to integrate the narrative into DEGA because I see that growing a lot. Please, Frick, continue.
Okay, I don't know, like Raymond, that was a great question. It was liquid for me is right now an obsession too, and I do want to know a lot and keep developing that idea in the future. But anyone else has a question that want to throw here? I see a lot of comments on the chat. I'm streaming. I'm just gonna open it so everyone like on the streaming side can also read it.
Sorry, I still have one more question that
Okay,
I
go ahead,
asked
Brent.
in our AMA. This one is for our founder. Please, what is DEGA? DEGA. I mean, is it an acronym for something, or what's the inspiration for the name DEGA?
Nice
Because
question.
I
Nice,
really wanted to know
nice.
that.
All right.
Yeah, DEGA means decentralizar gaming. Um, this one came about because I always heard GameFi, and the way that it rolls off the tongue kind of sucks, in my opinion. So I was like, nah, GameFi doesn't sound good. I think DEGA sounds better, right? That's why I came up with the name. And the reason that it's DEGA and not DIGA, right? Because, like, for example, in the industry, we have DeFi, so we say DeFi, right? But this is DEGA because it's in Spanish, right? Descentralizar gaming. And that's where it comes from.
You got it, Ray?
Yep, I do. Thank you very much. Thank you for clearing that. Thank you.
So I would wanna hear like from many of you like other questions, but if you don't, I would love also for the team. And you we've mentioned it. We have created a great, amazing team of people, and one of the first ones to come and to believe and that accepted this without even less information that the ones here have right now was Dr. Sadek. And Doctor just, jumped on board like full throttle. And I've learned so much from him. Like, I've actually ruined his work more than I kind of help him, but especially with the Discord. But I would love to hear from Doctor, like, what are the things that attracted you about the project? What are the things you were looking for? What do you think, like, it's like, why are you here? It's like, and how are you seeing things happening right now?
Um, uh, wait. Okay, you can hear me, Victor, and everyone?
Yes.
Good,
Yeah, I
great.
can
I
hear
will
you.
speak. Great, thank you. First, this is not true, Victor. I don't know much more than you know. This is the first thing, but thank you anyway. And second, about the question about the DEGA you asked me, I joined because of the big scope of the project, as it is already. DEGA is infrastructure, and from what I read already, I loved the idea. Especially, it is about a metaverse and GameFi, which is immersion. Immersion, you can say trend in the blockchain space, and I liked the team, the experience we have, especially for our CEO Carlos and the other Omar, Richie, and I know Fricton too. I loved everything. That is what. Um, that's it. Sorry, I am not used to speak a lot. Only writing, guys.
Don't worry,
No,
but
but we are. It's really good that you Freak point out about Dr. Sadek, because we see you doing this day-to-day work, which is amazing, because I see you on Discord, on Telegram, like organizing things, and it's really incredible how have you come out to the community. Right now played such an important role for everyone, and the most amazing thing is that you do it very in like very silently. You know what I mean? Like in the like you're not at the front of everything, but if you're not here, everything breaks down. You know what I mean? So it is a really good opportunity, Dr. Sadak, to tell you that we are so grateful to have you in the community, and your work is so important. Your input also, and yeah. So thank you for sharing your energy and your time with DEGA, because it has been an amazing. I feel like with like this community has like 3 years, right? Like going on, but we have like 3 weeks or a month or something like that. But these 3 weeks had been amazing with your work and your collaboration, energy, and everything else. So thank you for that, Dr. Sadak.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you for the words you told me. And it is nothing, trust me, because I am used to this Discord, Telegram work, etc., etc. And I am also glad to work with you guys. Everyone from the team to the ambassador, everyone is great. And I am having a great time with all of you. And also the community. We have a very, very great community, very vibrant, and you can see I'm very surprised by the community here. Especially we are very early, and as you mentioned before, guys, we did not even start yet. Everything now is very organic. That's it. Thank you again, Omar. Thank you very much, and everyone.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. Freak.
But Professor, there's one thing Sadek is doing that I would love for the doctor to tell us a little bit about that, because he's creating all these challenges on Crew 3 that will allow the community to grow, to help out, to create and generate value from there. So he's being the one behind those challenges. It's like if you attend the streaming or you stream, you get points. All those things are being created by him. So, and I know he has plans for more of these challenges, and these challenges are going to be one for the community and the whole tribe, and the other ones are going to be challenges for ambassadors, only for allowing ambassadors to grow. So, what are the things you have in mind there, Dr. Serek, that can come as challenges to help us grow the community and help people grow within the tribe?
So you didn't want to talk, Dr. Sadek. So you're talking a lot today.
Yeah, I will talk. I will talk. Yeah, especially he brought up Crew 3, and I will speak about it. First, I'm sorry because Crew 3 is still dormant, may I say, but I was doing some research on other communities, and I have a lot of information. And in the next, let's say, week or days or anything, I will have a full plan of many quests and many things for the community. Regarding Crew 3, what is it? It is about, it is a record. It's a record all the community engagement in in all our social, whatever it is, Telegram, Discord, in Twitter, and what is it, Medium, when we write our articles, everywhere. It measure the engagement of the community and rank them in a leaderboard. And what why how we can sorry, my English is bad. I will continue. Uh, and the sorry. Let's
No worries, no
give me a
worries.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
worries,
I will
no
say.
worries.
Yeah, I will say and the ones who are ranking up in the leaderboard will have what we say reward. And for reward, it can be NFT, it can be roles in Discord with a reward later, expected reward later, etc., etc. For the reward we will give will be based either in sprints. Sprints, what are they? They are weekly or bi-weekly competition between the community. The top five in this week, that top five will have this role or this NFT or etc. etc. Or by completing a series of quests. Let's say we have an event, a testing event. Let's say in the future on any time, and by completing a series of quests, the members in the end will have a Discord role and an NFT or something like that. Engaging the community by giving them giving them a reward or something like that. Crew 3 is amazing. Trust me, it is very, very amazing. And I will work on our Crew 3 page, DEGA Crew page, both the community and as Frictor said, the ambassadors. Sorry for my English. It is very unstructured.
It is, and
Very,
we understood everything, Dr. Sadek, and thank you for bringing these ideas. Like, it sounds amazing what you're going to do. And one thought that I have regarding this is that, like, as you can see, guys, these units in DEGA are being built by the moment, right? And if you want to be part of these units, like one of the things that I would like to do right now is be part of this engagement unit that SEDEC is building, right? Because I want to be part of that team. If you want to be part of that too, like start like for the ones that are not yet ambassadors, start showcasing your work. Like the greatest example of this is Raymond, in which like from last week or a couple of weeks, I don't know anymore because time runs really fast in this scene. But he just wrote an article that showcased that he had really like a great talent for writing and to generating content for the community. And now, because he showcased that, he's writing the newsletter and being part of the initiatives. Same thing with Spongy, right? Same thing with like many people that have many talents that when you showcase that to the community, it makes you visible. And when it makes you visible, it allows us, the community members, to say like, oh, that will be great. You should work with Dr. Sadak in this. And all of a sudden, you become an ambassador. You know what I mean? So it's bringing value, it's bringing good energy to the people of the community, showcasing your work, the things that you like to do, that you love to do. And if you do that, when you notice, you're going to be talking about your ideas in this channel, in town halls, or in the AMAs, in the many things, or you'll be running your own events for the DEGA community, for the DEGA community, um, which is something to take into consideration because everybody's welcome. Like the stage is open, but you have to showcase the things that you want to do in order to like bring a light into those things. Yeah. So, Frick, we are like almost at the end of this.
Yep.
Do you want to like like make some closing thoughts about everything?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Door, go
We
ahead.
have. No, Carlos is not here. I was gonna tell him to do the same, but yeah, please, Frick.
Okay, so no, it's been this past 20 years with you have been amazing. I know it seems like it's only 2 weeks,
I
but
know, I know.
dude, it's insane. My wife was telling me, is like, you need to take some time off. It's like, what do you mean? This is like my time off. Like, I enjoy it as a time off. It's not something like you go like, oh, I gotta go to work. It's like, no, I want to do this. I want to be here with you. I want to be in this conversation. And I want to invite you to do all of that. First, thank everyone in this community for believing and embracing what we're building. We're doing it because we truly, deeply believe in we're build like we're creating something not big, huge, and that is gonna improve the lives of many, especially in our countries. And you know what kind of countries I'm talking about. But it also is inviting you to use Discord as you please. You know, it's like the hubs are there for you to create channels, play music, do dances. I don't know. It's like I can let's put music on it and dance and chat and have drinks or talk and have fun. Whatever we want to do is like those are there for a reason. You know, like yeah, streaming games, of course. So anytime you don't gotta wait till Friday to start streaming or just play with someone else. You know, it's like invite them over. If you have a community of gamers, it's like, dude, let's go and you let me know like you want to stream it on Dega's Twitch. We arrange it and we do it and we showcase it and we announce the community that is gonna happen. So this is a place for that we're all building. So don't wait for news or events created by us. Just bring your own, create your own. If they're like in the realm of the normal fun kind of thing, you're kind of like free to do it. That idea, videoke, yeah, those are the
Awesome.
ideas
That's
you gotta
awesome.
bring. So I'm really happy to be part of this. Thank you for being here. Let's keep on building. Let's keep on dreaming. Let's keep on creating. Let's keep on experimenting. And see you not next week. See you tomorrow on our next event, which is gonna be actually is my event. So I'm gonna be presenting the last film that I produced, and it's a film based on my life. The announcement hasn't gone out yet. It's kind of like a metaphor of the city I grew up. I grew up in the city in the most violent city in the world in the 80s, and death was part of my day to day. So, kind of like a cathartic exercise, I started developing this script with my wife, and it was a 7 year journey. And I want to share it with you. I'm gonna screen it tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you the story of how we made it, and I'm gonna be commenting on when you see the scenes is like how we shot it or why did this happen, and you're gonna realize a lot of things weren't meant to happen and ended up in the film. So a lot of what goes behind filmmaking and all that. Just sharing a little bit about of my life and the journey that brought me here. So hope to see you tomorrow, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be there, Freak, on tomorrow's
Perfecto.
film festival, Freaktown. Um, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for
Richie was gonna say something.
please,
No,
Richie, please.
I was basically thanking you. This is like an amazing opportunity to watch this movie also with the director's cut. So thanks a lot for that. I'm going to be there for sure. And thank you everybody for joining. This was a great session. Really loved it.
Yeah, can't wait to watch your movies, Vecton.
We'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Just enjoy
Thank you,
the
guys.
minute. Hey,
Take
bye.
care.
Bye.
Take care,
Just
guys. Bye bye.
bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye
I
bye.
want to write down the ideas everyone had. How do I like copy and paste it in our
Uh,
channel? Can some
Yes,
What?
yes, please. Yes, please. Bring it on, Freak,
can
because
someone
those
can
ideas.
someone do it? Can someone just copy and paste it in our mods channel, so in the community, like in the ambassador channel, so we can discuss it?
What is it? What is it, man? Uh,
Perfecto.
what did you What did you ask about? I will do it. Selecton.
No, it's I see in the chat like a lot of ideas, like videoke and a lot of things like that, like the music
I will
channel,
see it.
like
Yeah,
all these things.
entertainment channel. I will see it. I will see it, Selecton. Leave it
Okay,
for me. Yeah. Thank
perfecto.
you.
Okay,
Perfecto.
okay.
Perfecto.
Take it. Bye bye.
Take
Ciao.
it. Bye.
Bye.